everyone, welcome to another book review Wednesday. For this particular book review, I thought it would be interesting to kind of talk about my personal thoughts in regards to adult coloring books. These are becoming widely popular, at least within my area. I don't know how it is throughout the rest of the United States and around the world, but it seems like these styles of books are becoming a lot more popular. And they basically are what they're described as adult coloring books. Um, I guess what makes them adult is the fact that a lot of the images are a little more complex than the kind of traditional kids coloring books. So, there's more to color in, and there's just a lot more variety, and there's a lot more to the image than, again, the kids' books that are kind of, just more so generic. Um, and these kinds of coloring books I find actually quite fascinating because they're very artistic, they're very creative in how they approach uh, the images, and they really, I think, do offer something unique to the marketplace as far as books are concerned. Because oftentimes when we think of books, we don't think of, really coloring books necessarily. But for some reason, I think this is kind of getting um, a lot more popular. I think more so because I think a lot of people in particular within my generation, I can't speak for the other generations, but I think we're a lot more visually in tune. So if you show us something uh, through images, it really resonates with us, and it's a lot easier for us to, I think, take in. And I think it's definitely safe to say that's why these coloring books have become more so popular for older people, especially since now there's a lot more interesting designs, and you can draw a lot more and do a lot more creative stuff with the images that are given. Um, and so I can definitely say that even though you're not necessarily reading anything, you're still kind of trying to create something through your mind by putting color to the image. So it is an interesting way to approach, I think, learning. Um, and I think obviously for a sort of activity to do when you're not that busy is also something that I think works to uh, adult coloring books advantage, because I think on a on when you're an adult with downtime, uh, it definitely makes sense to kind of do something like this. I can see maybe that there may be some people who may not gravitate towards the particular adult coloring books because they still see it as kind of a kid activity. But they're coming up with a lot of different kinds of books, in particular coloring books, to kind of work with. So, um, they just it seems like they're trying to create a variety of different ones so that it appeals to different people's tastes. So if you like um, more so shapes, there's ones that show shapes, and if you like flowers, there's one for that shows flowers. There's a lot of variety to these images as far as these adult coloring books are concerned, and even genres. I mean, for as far as I know, I think there's an adult one for Harry Potter where you can draw images of or color images of Harry Potter. Um, and there's probably a ton that you could find, maybe even online, that maybe appeal to you depending on what you like. Because again, I think this market can serve a lot of different people, depending on their tastes, and uh, in doing so, give them something fun and enjoyable to do in their spare time. And although it's not a, a book in the traditional sense, it's still something that you spend your time doing when, again, you have downtime, and you're taking in something that's presented to you within the confines of a book, and it actually gives you a certain level of participation too, because you're actually drawing it. You're not just taking it in, but you're also kind of taking it in, so you can look at it and figure out exactly what you're going to use as the colors. So it's really enjoyable, and I would definitely recommend it to those who enjoy that kind of thing, and if you would be open to that kind of thing. But I understand if it's not for everyone. But I think that's really all I can say about them, and uh, really all I can address as far as the uh, different kinds of coloring books that I've at least seen around where I've looked as far as my bookstores are concerned. But thank you so much for watching. I'd be more than happy to hear what anybody else has to say with their questions, comments, concerns. But until next time, everybody, bye-bye.